The following clip illustrates the actions you should take to prepare and record an inventory count. The steps that should be taken are: prepare and print an inventory count form. This can be taken care of now. Prepare a recount and record counted quantities. This must be done right after the physical count. Check and approve counted quantities, and finally, record new past balances to prevent additional revisions of inventory balances. First, we'll run the program that prepares the inventory count. We're going to go to Inventory, Warehouse Control, Inventory Count, and Prepare Count for Today Quick. We recommend running this quick preparation program, which does not interfere with the work of other system users, unless you have the manufacturing package and maintain plant floor inventory in the system, in which case you should select the Prepare Count for Past Date menu instead. In either scenario, when running the preparation program, you must select the warehouses in which you will be performing a count. Please note that inventory counts will not be prepared for any warehouse which is under external control, or for any part which has a status of not in use or is not flagged as inventory controlled. Let's return to the inventory count menu. Here, if you include zero balances, if the include zero balances column is flagged, the count document will include lines for parts that have a zero balance in the warehouse in question. This can be useful as it's possible that there will be an actual warehouse balance of such parts and you don't want employees to forget them. You can also flag the Select Part Number column to choose specific parts that you want to be counted. When the program is complete, you will receive a message informing you of the count documents that were opened. One document will be opened for each warehouse. Let's enter the inventory count form and select the count that was just prepared. The items in the warehouse will appear in the itemized inventory count sublevel form. The calculated quantities for these parts reflect the current inventory, but they may not reflect quantities on the day of the count. So you will prepare a recount to ensure that calculated quantities are accurate for the day on which the physical count was completed. We can now print an inventory count form via the Inventory Count Reports menu. Print inventory count form. In the input screen, you'll record the number of the prepared count document and choose the options that you want. Our document is number 8, inventory count 8. We do not recommend flagging the display calculated quantities option, as they will not be accurate for the date of the physical count and are likely to influence the people who will be performing the actual count. We do recommend selecting the lines between rows option, as it makes it easier to fill out the form, and we also recommend the addition of blank lines option, which will allow people performing the count to easily add parts manually that do not appear on the printed form. We'll click Display, but you can print it, mail it, or send it to a Word file. And here you can see the actual inventory count form in which the counted quantities will be recorded. Next, we'll be preparing the inventory count for the day of the physical count. Before recording the physical count in the system, we must run the We must run the Prepare Count for Past Date menu. This program is time-consuming, and so it should only be run when there are no users in the system. I'm just copying the information. we're going to select our inventory count document for today's date. In the input screen, you need to indicate the number of the original count document and the date of the physical count, so that the system will recalculate quantities for the original inventory count. Results of this program will appear in a new count document, and calculated quantities will be accurate as of the end of the workday you recorded in the input screen. Go back into the inventory count. Select the new document. When recording the counted quantities in the inventory count form, be sure to do so in the new document that was prepared. You can identify it by its original count document, the same draft document we used to prepare the printout. Here you can see the original count document, which was the same draft document we used to prepare the printout of the count form. Next, we enter the itemized inventory count sublevel form, and it's here that we'll record the counted quantities. For example, you can also record the number and type of packing crates, in which case crate information will be translated automatically into single units based on crate capacity definitions. Please note that simply recording counted quantities does not in itself update inventory balances. We can now see the variance in the variance column. We can also run reports in the inventory count reports menu, which display not only variance but also its monetary value. After analyzing and double-checking the count, you need to flag each line as approved. So as to actually affect inventory balances. You can now run reports from the inventory count reports menu, to ensure that balance of parts in the system match the quantities that were recorded and approved. If needed, you can also check count variances by means of detailed inventory journal reports. We also suggest that you run the uncounted parts in period report, which displays parts for which no inventory count has been recorded. Lastly, you will need to record past balances for the date of the count. Once you are certain that inventory balances are accurate, it is highly recommended that you run the program that calculates past balances. This will lock inventory balances for the date in which the program is run, blocking system users from adding or deleting incoming or outgoing inventory transactions for any past dates. This way, you'll know that the inventory balances you have updated will not be accidentally changed. For additional details on the inventory count functions, you can look at the initial inventory count wizard or the inventory count wizard, and for past balances, the past balances wizard. And of course, as always, the Ishbel support team is happy to answer any of your questions. Just open a service call on our website, which you can reach via the Help menu by selecting Online Support.